Alright, Sentinel Enclave it is. I think. I hope. To read some books. I wonder at which point am I supposed to... Do I have the money now? I could go and play for the bird. Let's... Well, maybe these books have some insight of how to beat the guy in the... Well, whatever the thing was. Is it this one? Yes, the Enclave. All the other ones are... Yeah, I've been to every other place. Go. Whoa. Oh crap. It's gonna be a reading episode.
Some kind of sandstone, very malleable, but also very vulnerable to the elements. These cliffs probably have huge, naturally formed caves and tunnels.
Maybe. Can I go this way? No. It's into the Enclave. Is there anything to the city? And only the... Oh, dragon.
It's a stone dragon gazing down into the center of the dome like it's guarding the entrance. It's a magnificent piece of work.
Alright. Let's get in. There's no books here. Oh no. I need some stuff to make this work.
The dragon's mouth is pointing straight down at the middle of the floor.
I don't have anything that looks like stuff I would need here.
It's a circular hollow about 20 centimeters across and about 5 centimeters deep.
I bet these things are in the storytelling guy's trunk.
It's a small recess about the size of my fist with a thin duct extending from the recess to the circular hollow in the middle of the floor. There are 3 others just like it, arranged with equal distance to each other in a circle and all connected via a duct to the center of the floor.
We might need to visit... What was that? Water. Okay. Duct?
It's emerald green, teeming with life and carrying the pleasant salty scent of distant shores.
She said duct, right?
It's a small recess about the size of my fist with a thin duct extending from the recess to the circular hollow in the middle of the floor.
Ah, this thing. Huh.
It's a small recess about the size of my fist with a thin duct extending from the recess to the circular hollow in the middle of the floor.
So I need to pour something in this. I have nothing to pour. Okay, there's stairs. Oh. Oh. Okay. I thought I was in trouble already. Let's talk to the... Can't remember his name. Walk up to him first. Run. Rather. And see.
It's one of the Sentinel Minstrum.
Sentinel Minstrum, that's what it was. One of the... what?
It's one of the Sentinel Minstrum.
The hell does that mean?
Oh, goodness me, I didn't hear you come in. By the way, you haven't seen Volume 6 of the Complete Annotated History of the Northlands, have you? I could have sworn it was here yesterday.
No.
Sorry, no.
I guess someone else must have taken it. I try to tell them to write down what they borrow on the list, but they never listen.
Strange people.
Only last week I spent 3 hours searching the entire Enclave for the second scripture of the ballads, the scripture of song, before I realized that Vestrum Tobias was studying it back in the city. Now, such incidents could be avoided if only, and this applies to you too, young lady.
I'm listening.
People would sign out the books they borrow
Sure.
when they borrow them, and sign them back in when they're done. Such a simple procedure. It shouldn't take more than a few seconds to jot down your name and the name of the book you borrow. It makes my job so much easier. Now, which book did you want me to find for you?
Or you could have someone here watching the entrance and make these notes for the people. That would probably cost money and stuff. Are you?
Are you Minstrom Yaren?
Yes, of course. Oh, what a silly question.
How would I know? I don't know you.
Exactly.
I am Minstrom Yeren, keeper of the great library of Marcuria. In fact, this is the greatest library of all the Northlands.
Wouldn't this moisture...
Perhaps of the entire world. Although they say the Dark People have a library as big, if not bigger, than this one. But of course, we're not allowed anywhere near there. Have you been there?
Can't say that I have.
I don't think...
What a silly question. Of course you haven't. You're not of the Dark People, are you? You don't look like any Dark People I've ever seen, so I can't see how you could possibly...
Magic?
Now, where did Volume 6 disappear to?
Guess I have to find it for him. Yeah, I was thinking, wouldn't all this moisture be bad for the books?
Tobias said I should talk with you.
Tobias? Vestrum Tobias?
Same guy.
I haven't seen him for... Well, he was in last week, but before that it must have been days at least. How is he? Still eating enough for 2 mules?
More?
I must tell you of this funny story I heard the other day, of how Vestrum Tobias eats enough for a table full of minstrum, or was it one Elguan? Although the Elguan don't as a rule eat very much at all.
That must be it then.
Did you know that the Elguan can smell water more than half a day's journey away?
I don't believe it.
Amazing, amazing creatures, perfectly suited for life in the desert. The balance provides, that's for certain. The balance provides.
There's no water in desert. There's nothing to smell them. There's nothing to smell. There's... anyway.
Vestrum Tobias recommended that I look at some books.
Would that be
Books
possible?
is what we do best here at the Enclave. That is for certain. Which book would you like to see?
Can't remember. Oh. Okay, note to self, don't have too long pauses when playing this game. Arcadian Folktales, Marcuria. I guess Silver Spear of Gorimon. Well, let's go this way.
I'm looking for some information, but I'm not sure which book to ask for.
No matter. I know a great deal about most of the books in here. What topic intrigues you?
All of them. Basically. I've heard rumors, mermen beneath the sea. This was because... Okay, little pause here. I have to remind myself of things. Oh yes, cannibal mermen who worship a dragon that fell into the ocean, basically. Piece of stone, this is the other thing. But let's go with the merman first.
I've heard rumors about mermen who live beneath the Sea of Songs, and I'd like to find out more about them.
Mermen in the Sea of Songs.
Cannibal mermen.
Let me see what I can find, yes?
Yes. Cannibal mermen, even if they don't eat humans. No? Just that they eat humans doesn't mean that they're cannibal. Something like that. Maybe they're not human. Maybe they are. I don't know. I haven't met them.
I did find something of interest. I'll leave it here for you to read.
Thank you very much. Should we... Maybe I have to check that first and then ask for another book, I guess. Merum, also mermen. Merpeople, Merians, a magical people who reside in the depths of the great ocean and other seas. Little contact has been made with the Merum, who are believed to have been quite numerous in the past, but are now dwindling in numbers. Confirmed location of Merum. Cities? Yes. Merum cities is between the Briston Atoll and Gayen, centering on the Sea of Songs. That's hard to read. The texture is weird behind the text. Legends of mermen, merpeople, Merians are rampant amongst sailors. These stories portray the Merum in a grotesque and violent light, betraying the truth of a largely peaceful people. Is there more? Exit? Oh, turn page. Violent... Wait. Ah, it continues, conveniently. Violent light betraying the truth of largely peaceful people. Although not much is known about the Merum, their religion apparently centers around the belief of a benevolent god who lives in the immense depths of the great ocean and who brought the Merum to Earth from a place distant and wonderful. Oh, that's all, folks. So, Briston Atoll and Gayen, centering on the Sea of Songs. And they might be friendly. Well, largely peaceful. Alright.
Are you done? Let me take that back for you.
Alright. I hope I made a note of it. In my thingy. Not yet, at least. I might later on. Like right about... No? Huh. Intriguing. Speak more.
Oh!
Heh.
Oh, goodness, it's you again. Oh, you gave me such a fright.
Sorry. Could I see some more books?
Could I see some more books?
Oh, certainly. What a silly question.
Isn't that? Okay, Silver Spear of Gorimon. I can go with this in the end.
I'm looking for a story called The Silver Spear of Gorimon.
Yes, a fanciful tale if I ever saw one, but a charming one. Did you know that I'm often paid visit by adventurers wishing to read everything available on the sphere so that they too can set out on their foolish quests?
Really?
Yeah, don't you just hate those adventurers?
Terrible people.
Well, they pay for my bread, milk, and butter with their contributions to the coffers, so I shouldn't be too critical of them.
Thank you.
But they care not about the books. They care only about what the books can give them.
I care. About the books, really?
Really?
I can tell. So, the Silver Spear of Gorimon, then?
Yes, please. I like the way he walks. Trying to keep his balance. Maybe he's been drinking something? Something he shouldn't while he's on the job? Although, is this his job? Or is it his life? I'm betting on the latter.
I did find something of interest.
Goody.
I'll leave it here for you to read.
Thank you very much. Let's see. The Silver Spear of Gorimon. In the glory days of Baksheva, before the drought, when Gorimon was... Is it drought or is it drought? I think it's drought. When Gorimon was the greatest city in the known world, the Parach of Baksheva decided to forge the most powerful weapon in the world to challenge the mighty white dragon. Parach, I don't know, had grown greedy and bored, his treasure hold filled with the riches of the world, and he desired nothing except the one thing he could never have. The unborn daughter of the white dragon. Hey! I saw the egg. The most fairest, purest, most beautiful creature in the universe, he had asked the white dragon for her daughter's hand in marriage, but she had refused, scolding him for his insolence and warning him to keep his distance from immortals. And so I'd like to say parish, but I don't know, Parach sought the advice of a mighty sorcerer, the dark and cruel Eos, to learn how to kill one of the Drakekin. The sorcerer told the Parach of the white silver of Mount Tyranny. Parach of the white silver of Mount Tyranny, the strongest substance in Arcadia, and how it could be forged by magic to kill even one of the kin. The Parach ordered his army to go north across the ocean and to bring back enough white silver to shape a weapon. When his men returned with the rare metal, the Parach ordered the finest blacksmith in Baksheva to his castle, where Eos the sorcerer cast a spell to create an unholy forge. 10 days and 10 nights it took before the exhausted blacksmith could present a tall spear to his emperor. But before the spear could be used to kill one of the kin, it had to be bathed in blood. Beheading the poor blacksmith and the soldiers who had retrieved the white silver from Mount Tyranny, the Parach's private bath was filled with their blood. As he dropped the silver spear into the red bath, watched over by Eos, a terrible scream erupted and steam rose up in a red, foul-smelling cloud. When the steam lifted, the blood was all gone, and the spear was glowing in a deep red color. With the terrible weapon now ready to be wielded, Parach issued a challenge to the white dragon to either surrender her daughter to him for marriage or to suffer a painful death at his hand. Enraged, the white dragon refused him yet again and flew to meet the Parach, his sorcerer, and his 1,000-strong army on the green fields outside Gorimon. Of the magical silver spear she knew nothing, and the Parach kept it wrapped in cloth by his side. "Bring your forces around, Parach," warned the white dragon. If you do not, I will lay waste to them all. I wish my men no harm, lied the parish. For this is between the two of us. He then rode forward alone and dismounted his horse, but stayed within reach of the spear. The white dragon landed before him, and she said, "You are brave to face me like this, when you know you cannot harm me." Then the parish raised a hand, as if to greet her, but it was instead a sign to his sorcerer, the terrible Aeos, who cast a mighty spell to hold the white dragon while the parish drew his silver spear. The white dragon fought bravely as she was close to escaping the sorcerer's magic, but the parish was quick and he thrust the magic spear into her chest. She screamed in pain and anger, and the sorcerer's spell could no longer hold her. Rising on her beautiful wings, blood pouring down on the land below, she cursed Bakshiva, her parish, and her people for all time. Wherever the white dragon's blood fell, the land turned arid and grass became sand. The parish sent his army to follow the white dragon and to bring back her egg. But the drought grew, and within days, the once proud empire of Bakshiva was turning into a desert. Then followed a fierce storm that tore across the land for 100 days and nights, and when the dust settled, there was nothing left of Bakshiva but 2 coastal cities and a few scattered oases. It is said that in the buried ruins of a lost capital, wrapped in the arms of the parish who dared test the immortal, rests the silver spear of Gorimon. Buried ruin of a lost capital. Buried ruin of the lost capital. So that's a place to find, I suppose.
Are you done?
Yes.
Let me take that back for you.
Alrighty. Would you do it in a jiffy? I can't even calm the things, because it's all white. And our next book. Poke him again. Do it. Yoink.
Oh, goodness, it's you again. Oh, you gave me such a fright.
Sorry. Could I see some books?
Could I see some more books?
Oh, certainly. What a silly question.
Isn't that right? History of Marcuria. Arcadian folk tale. Well, I could take a look at History of Marcuria. Sure.
A book on the history of Marcuria would be interesting.
Ah, an extensive subject to be sure. I will do my best.
Would that be about the discs? Could be about the discs. And there seems to be some ducts. Is there a meaning in this? I can go downstairs. So maybe I can find something to do upstairs. Like a hint from here. Or even take something to take up and pour into those holes. Who knows?
I did find something of interest. I'll leave it here for you to read.
Thank you, thank you. I'll just take a look. Travels in the Northlands by Germain the Discoverer. The first part. In my many years as a traveling poet and bard, I have journeyed far and wide across the fair realm of Arcady. Wait, Arcady? Wasn't it Arcadia? Arcadia? Well, it's probably written a long time ago or something, I don't know. And I have seen sights most people have not dreamed. I have stood on the magnificent and terrible southern capes in the midst of winter, when the storms are at their fiercest, while waves as tall as the towers of Aldebaran washed over my frozen body. I have witnessed the monstrous beasts that lurk in those dark and deadly waters of the South Swallow Brave Galleon's hold. Creatures the size of mountains, that with a flick of a tail can touch the depths of the sea and the stars themselves. I have crossed the great ocean from north to south and from east to west, and in the course been stranded on desert islands with no sustenance but what I could gather from the sparse vegetation for months at a time. I have ridden the giant Elk-One across Changangerlel, the wasteland from Aldebaran to Monterba, and further south where the Teruk, the oases are few and far between. And I have seen the shifting dunes above the ruins of Gorimon, precious jewel of the Bakshivan. What? Skip the page. Jewel of the Bakshivan Empire, concealed for centuries by the coarse and treacherous sand. Shifting dunes above the ruins of Gorimon. So I have to find shifting dunes to get to Gorimon and find the spear. Why the hell would I need the spear? I'm not going to kill any dragons. Well, maybe I need it. Oh, I present it to the dragon and she will help me or something. And I have journeyed far west, carried on goodwill and destiny by shadow ships, to the strange and unknown cliffs of a world unseen by most, a world of an unfamiliar tongue and customs, a world of great wonder and mysticism. I have seen all this and more, but the fairest sights still I have seen in the lands of the north, from my reed to the broad mountains, from Tyrant to the Bay of Fire. No sight can ever compare to dawn at Mount Tyranny, looking out to the plains of Nedra, where wild stallions run free in the thousands, and to look on the city of Crescent, the Pearl of Fire, while the boiling sun sets in the ocean beyond, the slow waves reflecting dark yellow and red as they lap slowly upon the sandy shores, is an experience truly treasured and never forgotten. These lands are blessed by the Creator, shaped by men, yet wild and free and fertile, home to the greatest cities, the most precious sights, and the most cultured and civilized people in Arcadia. Of all the fires I have rested my weary legs by, of all the taverns where I have learned the legends of tale spinners and memorized the songs of bards, of all the lands where I have wandered from city to village, it is to the Northlands I return time and time again to learn evermore. Join me now, for I will evoke in you the very emotions I first experienced when visiting the slights and treasures of the Northern lands. Join me and I will surely bring you there, to the exotic midst of this blessed land, and you will pine for its rugged coast and green woods, and its hardy people, and like me you will never rest until you can return to yonder shores. Marcuria. Oh, Marcuria, thou unkept diamond of capitals, thou art by truth the fairest. Thy counsel many seek, for knowledge kept within its centuries, sought and gathered, by men wiser than the ages brought hither, by word of mouth, Marcuria. Changed thou not the cause of war. Between thine people, diplomat, wise man, magician, all this and more, thou hast without equal Mark of Merit and Virtue, written by Germain Arsène the poet. Okay, the august capital of Arid. The unified country Mercuria lies on the hardy southern coast of the Northlands, halfway between Tyran and Khorasan. It is a port of call for merchants, traders, adventurers and pilgrims from all 4 continents, a place of commerce and diplomacy for millions of humans and other species. Arid is a strong and proud land perched between the plains of Nedra to the north, the land of the Tyran to the west, the Great Sea to the south, and the forest of the Northlands to the east, and inhabited by humans, Dolmari, Tyran, Mole people, and Veneer. Arid was formed after Mercuria emerged as a major center for diplomacy and trade and became the banner under which the surrounding lands united as one. Arid is a democracy, currently led by the Chief Council of the Arid Flag, Lord Igvan Dellan. The High Council, composed of the ministers who govern by representation, resides in the Mercurian Hall of Assembly, flanked by the palace and the barracks. The Arides are traditionalists and their form of government has barely changed over the last few millennia in High Tang. In High Tang, Arid meets unification or assembly. Aha! Mercuria is one of the largest cities of Arcadia, the capital of Arid, and a center for trade, diplomacy and cultural diversity. Populated by a large variety of races from human to Veneer, Mercuria has grown from its origins as the birthplace of humanity to a city of all Arcadians and the hub of the civilized world. Founded 20,000 years ago at the shore of then unconquerable ocean, it is the first non-permanent settlement of the emerging human race. Initially left to its own devices by more developed races, Mercuria grew large and fat and wealthy. With newfound confidence, it passed through a period of expansion which gained it a reputation as a merciless aggressor, which soon brought violent attention from the Tyran in the west and the Dolmari in the north. After years of war, Mercuria was decimated and subsequently rebuilt with sufficient reinforcement to weather attacks from both sea and land. Peaceful times followed, whereupon Mercuria settled into the role it has in today's Arcadia. Although all surrounding areas fall under its jurisdiction, there is sufficient self-governing and few central taxes to appease all but the most disgruntled. The huge areas of farmland around the city benefit from the well-kept roads, markets and the busy export to other lands. Nearby villages benefit from the military might of Mercuria protecting them against roving barbarians and Tyran armies. And Mercuria also provides the people of the Northlands with one of the best and busiest ports in Arcadia, allowing travel to distant destinations around the world. Didn't I ask for stories and I get a history lecture?
Are you done? Let me take that back for you.
Please do. I may have forgotten what I asked for. Thought it was supposed to be stories. The first one seemed like a story. And it was. Then it turned into a history lecture. I guess that's fine. More reading, please.
Oh.
Ooh!
Oh, goodness, it's you again.
Who would have
You gave me
thunk?
such a fright.
Who would have thunk? Could I see some more
Can I see
books?
some more books?
Oh, certainly. What a silly question.
Ooh, silly me. Oh, it was a history book on Mercuria. Yeah. Folktale was an option. Let's see some
I'd like to
folktales.
read some Arcadian folk tales.
Why not?
A
Since we're
favorite
here,
topic of mine. I have just what you're looking for.
goody, maybe there's some jokes. I like jokes. Only no bad ones. So, all the best books seems to be in that shelf. And I'll just leave it here for you.
I did find something of interest. I'll leave it here for you to read.
Thank you. Let us read. What does it say? Sadra, the faithful wife. Maybe Sadra. Sadra was married to a brute of a man named Carey. Carey? Let's say Carey. He was a bully who drank, cursed, gambled, and beat up his wife when he'd lost coins at the cup stable. Ooh, cup stable. Do we get a hint for that? Still, Sadra treated Carey. Did I end up on Carey? I guess I did. Carey. With respect and care, she fed him when he was hungry, she made his bed and washed his back, and she laid down with him when he told her to. She never complained of her hardships to anyone, even though some days she woke up with bruises all over her body. Nice! Despite her husband's treatment, Sadra was a beautiful woman with lovely dark hair and green eyes, and men would admire her when she went to the market for good food, or the town well for water, but none dared approach her, fearing her dangerous husband more than they admired her beauty and grace. People would say, poor Sadra. She deserves better than what she has. She is so good and patient, even though her husband mistreats her every day. But no one was willing to do anything to free her from her husband, as they all feared his wrath. She chooses her own path, they would say, and it is not our duty to interfere. Then one day a tall and handsome prince, how about that, rode into town to visit with the elder council. When he spotted Sadra carrying 2 heavy buckets from the well to her home on the edge of town, he was taken with her beauty and youth, and he jumped down from his horse to help carry her buckets home. On the way he offered Sadra courtship, but when told she was already married, he bowed respectfully and excused himself for acting inappropriately. That night Sadra's husband heard about the prince helping his wife, and after striking her down for letting royalty interfere with her duties, he strode drunkenly for her, for he had already had his usual fill of dark ale, towards the tavern where the prince and his cohorts were staying. When Carey arrived at the tavern, the prince was eating dinner, and when told Sadra's husband was there to see him, the prince stood and waved the man closer. I must congratulate you on your good taste in marriage, said the prince, for your wife is the most beautiful and good-hearted woman I have ever met. How did they get that I there on the book? And then he offered Carey a seat and a tall mug of ale, but the angry husband did not appreciate the prince's advances, and he drew a sword and lunged at the prince before his guards could react. The prince was quick and lucky to avoid certain death, and before Carey could make a second strike, the prince had recovered his sword from where it stood by the wall and stood ready to fight the brute. Leave him be, called the prince, when his guards drew arms and ran to protect their liege. This is between him and me. Smiling briefly, he nodded his head to Carey, and stood to attention. Obviously his skill with the sword was formidable. Carey, a coward at heart, knew that if he fought fairly he would surely die, and he sheathed his sword, but loosened the knife he had tucked up his long sleeve. My pardon, prince, said Carey. My love for my wife is such that I am blinded by jealousy. I offer you friendship and apologies. He extended an open hand to the prince and smiled a broad lizard smile. The prince, unaware of Carey's mistreatment of his faithful wife, smiled back. put down his sword and extended his own hand. Your apologies accepted, sir. Then suddenly Carrie's knife was in his hand and moving in a blur towards the prince's exposed throat. Had it not been for the quick eye of a nearby guard who, with the broadside of his sword, struck Carrie on the side of his head, the prince would have been dead. The knife carved a deep scar in the prince's shoulder, but did no serious harm. Carrie was taken away to the town prison to be judged when the sun rose. His crime was surely punishable by death, especially if Sadra would testify to his cruelty in front of the judge. Free of Carrie's tyranny, the townspeople now spoke of Sadra's suffering by her husband's hand. But Sadra would not herself, even now, speak against her husband, and instead of being sentenced to death, Carrie was sent away to work at the king's mines for 25 years, taken with her faithfulness. The prince yet again offered Sadra courtship, but again Sadra declined, for she was still a married woman. Then 1 year later, Carrie attempted to escape the king's mines by killing 2 guards and climbing the walls, but he was shot down with an arrow and died in agony and disgrace. Again, the prince visited Sadra's town, bringing condolences and a renewed offer of courtship, and this time Sadra agreed. Months later, the prince and Sadra were married in a glorious ceremony, and when the old king died, the prince became regent and Sadra his queen. She was as good a queen as the land had ever seen, and she was loved dearly until the day she died. I was expecting her to kill the prince as a revenge, actually, and her funeral was the grandest and most tearful in memory. Oh, Jesus, there's more. Well, it said stories. The children of the lake. There was a village by a lake where no couple had borne a child for 20 years. The villagers were desperate, for without children their village would wither and die, and they turned to their god for help. The next morning, 50 young children rose out of the misty lake and wandered onto the shores, much to the joy of the childless women. "We are yours," said one of the children. "As long as you remember one thing, you are never to fish from this lake again. Instead, you must learn to hunt in the forest and live off the land." Villagers agreed, though they worried they might go hungry since they were used to catching and eating fish from the lake. But it didn't take long before they had taught themselves to hunt and grow wheat and potatoes in the fields. 18 years passed, and then one day an old man grew tired of rabbits and deer and potatoes and bread, and he longed to catch a big fish and cook it over a sizzling fire. He took his boat out to where the villagers would not see him, and he sank his line. Almost immediately he caught a large trout. But as he was rowing back to shore, he saw the children of the lake wander from their homes back into the dark waters from whence they came. Their mothers called for them, tried to hold on to them, begged them not to leave, but they would not speak, and one by one they disappeared into the lake. The old fisherman then saw, as the children sank into the murky waters, how they turned into large fish and sped off into the deep. He was shameful then, and dropped his catch back in the water, but it was too late, and the village would forevermore remain childless. Such happy little stories. Yeah.
Let me take that back for you.
Go ahead, go ahead. I guess I'll ask if he's got... Well, the thing that I don't actually know what I would like to read, but maybe he could suggest something. I have questions. Does he have answers? Let's poke him on his side. Like this.
Oh. Oh, goodness, it's you again. Oh, you gave me such a fright.
Yeah. That happens. Could I see some more books?
Could I see some more books?
Oh, certainly. What a silly question.
Thank you. Red. Actually, yellow. Yeah. Information.
I'm looking for some information, but I'm not sure which book to ask for.
Exactly.
No matter. I know a great deal about most of the books in here.
Good.
What topic intrigues you?
No idea. Merrim, magical people of Arcadia, were given a piece of the stone. Ooh! Draken. Yes, discs. Or magical people of Arcadia were given. Yes,
I need
this.
to find out which
That's
four magical
important.
people of Arcadia were given a piece of the stone disc that serves as the key to the Guardian's realm.
The stone disc of the balance, yes? Yes. There could possibly be something on that in... let me check. Just one moment.
Yeah, so do I actually need those stone discs upstairs or something to pour and... What the hell is the duct for? If it's a stone disc, what's gonna go in the duct? Interesting. Maybe it needs some flux. I wouldn't know.
Find something of interest. I'll leave it here for you to read.
Alright, let's have a look. You just balance your way back here. Chapter 16. In the 8th scripture, the scripture of breaking. Regarding the disc of the balance and the events that came about when the disc were broke. God damn it. That came about when the disc was broken. The scriptures tell us that the disc was kept at the Enclave for many thousands of years, safely guarded from any threat, by the respect held by every man and woman for the authority of the fathers. But with dissent came disobedience, and disobedience brought immorality. Immorality begat theft. Tyrant soldiers, aided by Sentinel traders, attempted to make away with the disc, but were thwarted. But were thwarted by the wight of the kin herself, intervening, although forbidden to do so, on behalf of the fathers. The disc was brought safely back to the Enclave, but the threat would linger in the minds of the Minstrum and the Vestrum. What the hell are Minstrum and the Vestrum? Are they titles? I don't think I've learned that yet. So it became that the disc was melted in the forge of the dragon's mouth. Dragon has a forge in his mouth. Maybe upstairs the stone dragon is forge? I don't know. Shaped into the elements of 4 magical people. Yes, 4 circles. And given to the respective people for safekeeping until such a time when it was decreed that the disc should once more be whole. 1 stone to the gentle souls that sing in the dark and shape the earth between their toes. 1 stone to the watchers of the woods, the ones who are outside. 1 stone to the 2 that make 1, of air and of sea. And 1 stone to the keepers of the dark flame, the eternally dark, the mariners. Souls that sing in the dark and shape the earth between their toes. Watchers of the woods, the ones who are outside. 2 that make 1 of air and of sea. Keepers of the dark flame, the mariners. None of those really ring any bells. When the time comes for the disc to be whole again, one person will make a journey, the longest journey, to the four who hold the pieces. The pieces will be given willingly because there will be no doubt to the righteousness of this person. Ah, so I am to visit all these four. Yeah, well, I knew that. Now I kinda know who they are. They're gentle souls. They're watchers of the woods. The outsiders. Two that make one. And the mariners. Oh my god.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Let me take that back for you.
It's not gonna be easy, I would believe. There was more about Drake and... Let's see that... Maybe I can scare this guy.
Oh!
Never fails. Never fails.
Goodness, it's you again. Oh, you gave me such a fright.
No, I'm sorry. Could I read some
Could
books?
I see some more books?
Oh, certainly.
Books
what a
are
silly
fun.
question.
Where the hell did I find those things? Where were they? Were they here?
I'm looking for some information, but I'm not
Oh yeah,
sure
yeah,
which
yeah,
book to ask
yeah.
for.
Drake and...
No matter. I know a great deal about most of the books in here. What topic intrigues you?
Draking. Draking, thank you. Again. And this should be the last one.
I'd like to learn more about dragons, about the Dragkin.
Could be the last one.
Oh, yes. We have some wonderful books on that topic. Stay here.
Oh, I heard she said again, but it was Draken. Jesus, that really scared me. Oh, it's not the same shelf anymore. Shelves. Can you find it? Yeah, there it is. Now just balance your way back to the... What is this? Pedestal? I don't know.
I did find something of interest. I'll leave it here for you to read.
That is so kind of you. Secrets of the Drakekin by Minstrom Eliak. Forward. Well, this ain't gonna be long. The Drakekin are known by many names throughout the Twin Worlds. In all tongue they are often referred to as Drakin. Well, Drakin. In some variations of Low Tongue, Drakin. In the Southlands, the word Dragich refers specifically to the winged lizard shape traditionally assorted with the kin. In Irhad, the eternal spirit of the kin are called simply Drag. Regardless of their current shape in Stark, most cultures refer to the kin as dragon, drake, dragon, though this usually refers only to the winged lizard-like shape and not the spirit inhabiting this shape. In fact, while in Arcadia the kin are respected and revered as eternal spirits with great significance in the balance and the all. What? Balance and the all. Okay. In Stark, the kin are mostly creatures of mythology and fairy tales. However, in some Stark legends and scriptures, notably the Christian Bible, the name dragon is associated with the forces of evil. And thus the religious connotations do seem to have... Are there dragons in the Bible? Really? Huh. Maybe I have to read that sometime. Religious connotations do seem to have carried over in a somewhat distorted form. Who or what are the Drake Kin? Why not ask who is the creator, or what is the all? Oh, it is. I thought the all was just some weird thing, but it is. Balance and all. Questions thus asked will remain in perpetuity unanswered. They are in truth unanswerable. To condense all knowledge of the Creator into one answer is futile, as is any attempt to define the all without describing every single element that makes up the all. Oh, so all is literally all. So also with the Drake Kin, we cannot answer who is the kin or what is the kin. But we can provide some answers. I always thought it was like a kind, like dragon kind. But we can provide some answers to the simpler questions, the questions that deal with what we see and hear and feel, and what we have been told by the kin themselves. Answers that together may give us, if only the faintest hint of the whole truth, then at least some indication of who or what the Drake Kin are. Born of the emptiness between the stars, reached the 11th scripture of the balance, the scripture of time, shaped in unison with the all, part of the all, but outside the all. Drake Kin, note the ancient high tongue variation of Drake Kin. Why so many variations and interpretation of the Drake Kin from culture to culture? The kin have always been shrouded in mystery, and from mystery rises legend and myth. The kin seem content to be seen as nothing but tall tales of and figments of a bard's fertile imagination. It was actually a lot shorter than I was hoping for. That was interesting. Tongues.
Are you done?
Cultures,
Let me take
that
that back
scared
for
me.
you.
I meant to change the page back to forward, but yeah. I was done with it anyway. We're closing the end of the episode. By the timetable. I'd like to go around 1 hour.
Oh,
Do we have anything else to discuss?
goodness, it's you again. Oh, you gave me such a fright.
It's me. Galanga, langa, langa, it's me. Was there something left?
Could I see some more books?
I'm not sure.
Oh, certainly. What a silly question.
That is, at this point. I think I said that should be the last one. Well, there might be some more Arcadian folktales. Let's see. Maybe there
I'd
is.
like to read some more Arcadian folktales.
Did I mention how much I like folk tales? Just a minute.
I'm not sure. You may have. Huh. So there's more. Yeah, the previous one didn't help with the Cups game. Maybe this will? There was mention about the Cups game, but nothing that might give me an edge over the guy.
I did find something of interest. I'll leave it here for you to read.
Alright. Let us have a look. What does it say? Huh. Looks familiar.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Let me take that back for you.
I said more. Not the same one. God damn it. Well, I guess that's it then. Hey, now that I notice, there's either a dragon or a snake. Could be a scorpion or some sort of... Are they crabs? The lobster-like dudes. And a hand and a one to rule them all. Same on this side, I guess. So, let's take a ride on the stairs. See what's there. Oh, I just went there. Okay, fine. There's a wheel, which we surely can look at. Pool.
It's a pool of seawater. You'd think that it'd be a bad idea to have
Hey.
a pool inside a library on account of the moisture.
Yeah.
But I guess magic makes everything possible.
Ah, right, magic. Didn't think of that. Should I run to it? Touch the water. Take a sip. Taste the saltiness.
The water's pretty cold.
Oh. I guess we're not swimming. And this doesn't seem to be a, way to go. Let's go see the wheel. So maybe I need a vessel. I don't have a vessel, no. Take some water and go up and do the thing with the holes and ducts.
It's a rusty wheel.
Nice. For some reason I feel like we could... Is this a door?
It's stuck.
Do I have any solvents? No. Is this still going? God damn it. Journeyman in. Rolling man. West house. I didn't... Tundluik. Well, maybe he wasn't there at the time. Rolling man. Rolling man. So I didn't... Do I have to still do these things? Not sure. I have nothing to do here. I have some information. I guess this guy gives me nothing more. There's nothing for me to do here, so I think we'll exit for now. And I have this healing.
The dragon's mouth is pointing straight down at the middle of the floor. It's a circular hollow about 20 centimeters across and about 5 centimeters deep.
We have to find something here. We have nothing. The best guess for these is that they are the actual discs, and this is the forge to make them one again. You place one on each thing. Dragon Forge. Breathes fire here, and these stone tablets, stone circle, stone discs will melt into one. That makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Now I think we'll need to talk to the priest guy again. Possibly. About what we found. We can try our luck with the Cups game. To get the bird and eventually probably get that seaman guy to open his chest and show what's inside. But I guess that'll all be... Or, well, not all, but at least talking to this guy will be in the next one.